Hi-ho folks, it's Naomi here. I would like to share with you a struggle that I've been having ever since I can remember. As most of you know, I don't drink alcohol. The only alcohol I've ever had was in cough syrup when I needed it. And this one time when I took communion at this church that I was visiting, I accidentally took the wrong cup. But I have a lot of friends that drink beer and wine, and they get to say fancy things like earthy, notes, fruit forward, bouquet, aroma, structure, head. And then I'm just left ordering a glass of water on the rocks, and I'm just like, this tastes like nothing. Don't get me wrong, water is my favorite drink in the whole entire world. But sometimes I do feel a little left out when my friends are drinking massive amounts of alcohol and talking about it with all these descriptive terms that make me just like, maybe I'll have a drink. And then I'm like, no. Jeepers criminy, you've gone almost 30 years without having alcohol. Don't throw in the towel now. Say no to peer pressure. Not that I think alcohol is wrong or bad or anything, it's just that I decided not to. So I decided to start objectively drinking a beverage that I do like to consume on a regular basis. And I'll share some descriptive words with you about what I feel like I'm tasting. Root beer. I don't know anything about root beer. I don't know how to properly taste root beer. All I know is that I like to drink root beer. I recently bought a lot of different kinds of root beer. I'm going to taste this root beer and tell you how I think this root beer tastes, using words. Today we'll start with, I don't even know how to pronounce this. I gotta look up how to say it so I don't sound like an idiot.
Cicero.
Cicero Brewing Company. Salted caramel root beer. Or for your hoity-toity asses out there, salted caramel root beer. We will grade this root beer on a scale of 1 to 732. First, we will look at the outward appearance of the bottle. Looks pretty good. Second, we will look at the graphic design elements of this bottle. Look. I don't really like it. And they use 3 different fonts. 4 different fonts actually. So overall, on a scale of a possible 5 points in the graphic design category, I'm only going to give them 2. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this gets a 10 because it is a twisty top. Why the hell would any bottle not be twist top? Since I don't even have a bottle opener, I brought this just in case we had to open it the old-fashioned and outdated way. Now some of you might not like twist tops. Some of you might like archaic and outdated and irrelevant things, like dial-up internet or the Spice Girls. I don't carry bottle openers wherever we go. Second thing you'll need, besides the root beer for your tasting, the largest mug you can possibly find. It is imperative that you use the proper mug for tasting root beer. The best way to know if you've got a good root beer mug is to talk into it, and if it sounds like you're talking into a mug, it's probably a good bet that it's a good mug. It also should be clear. It's clear. It also should be free of nicks and chips around the lip of the mug because you don't want to cut your damn lip open when you're trying to taste the savoriness of a root beer and all you can taste is your fucking blood. Safety first, guys. It looks cool. First, open the root beer. Oh look, it says drink on it. Just in case any of you dumbasses were confused with what to do with the root beer. Oh look, some little smoky stuff came out the top. That gets 7 points. Now I think you're supposed to sniff it. Waft it. Waft it towards your nose. Yes, it smells like root beer. Let us pour it a little bit into the mug. Can you hear that? Sounds exactly as it should. It's got a good noise. I'm going to give that 8 points for noise. Oh gosh. Look at all this. This is what you call a head. All the bubbles, right? Oh shit. It's okay. It smells kind of like bubble gum, which I fucking hate. I hate gum. I hate gum. Look at how the head disappears, folks. That gets 20 points. Put your finger in it. What does it feel like? Does it feel like bubbles? That's another 80 points. Now we begin to taste. I don't know. I mean, I've watched people inhale like that with their wine before to taste it. But I don't think it's a good idea to do with root beer. Now let's try to articulate what we taste in our mouth when we take a drink of the root beer. Well, it's got a good mouthfeel. Quite creamy. And right off the bat, you don't taste the caramel. But it leaves an aftertaste. But the finish of this root beer leaves a delightful caramel taste in your mouth, palate, tongue area. The bubbles are present, but not overpowering. Oh, it's made with sugar. That's minus 17 points because it's not made with cane sugar. Citric acid. I love acid. Just kidding. I've never tried it. I've never had alcohol. Do you think I've tried acid? Come on. I wouldn't say this is necessarily a balanced beer because it is quite heavy on the root. The next test we have to conduct is the test. It's simply where we blow into the bottle and see if we like the sound that it produces. It's okay. On a scale of 1 to 75, I give it a 7. Oh, the color. We should look at the color. Hold it up to the light, folks. It produces a dark amber color. Got some bubbles that stick to the glass when you go like this. Oh, it did not produce a very good burp. It only gets 2 points on the scale of 1 to 17. I could barely hear it myself and I burped it and I was right here. Come on. Come on, Cicero Beverage Company. With your salted caramel root beer. It's caramel. So on the point system, I give it... I wasn't keeping track. You can add them up if you like to do math. I don't. I don't like to do math, so I'm not going to add it up. But be sure to minus 14 points at the very end because it made me choke. I usually choke on every beverage that I drink. Almost every single beverage that I drink, I choke on it. But that doesn't matter. Minus 17 points. I got a mess to clean up. Well, that's all I have to say about this. Cheers.